company, always on the run, a destiny. Oh, it's the rising sun. I was born, a shotgun in my hands, behind the gun, I'll make my final stand. Yeah, and that's why they call me bad company. I can't deny bad company till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die. Rebel souls, deserters we've been called, chose a gun and threw away the sun. Now these towns, well, they all know our name. The death punch sound is our claim to fame. And that's why they call me bad company. I can't deny bad company till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, blood for blood.
You know what time it is? It's Monday Night Raw. I see Carolina Watercraft Club's in the house. What's going on? I see Nathan Adam in the house. Oh boy, Kev's in the house. MVP Productions in the house. You know what time it is? We're doing it.
And that's why they call me bad company. I won't deny
77, baby. What's up, friend?
till the day I die.
We got Dolly in the house. 197's in the house.
Company, I won't deny bad company till the day I die. Until 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 the day I die.
Ooh, that's how you start Monday night off real good. Five-finger death punch with a classic Bad Company. You guys know what day it is. It's Monday Night Raw. Cardone's Race Corner coming at you all the way, bringing it live, baby. You know what time it is. It doesn't matter if you hate me or like me. I'm just going to do what I keep doing. I'm bringing you the best PWC closed course stuff that I possibly can. We're just trying to have some fun. Man, oh man, the weekend was full. The British Championship was going on. The Aussies had their stuff going on. Huntington Beach was going off. Man, there was some real good racing. Boy, I watched some of the Huntington Beach. You know, Westside Media Production had their going on, and then man, I was looking RVP Productions. I probably said it wrong. He's going to be in in the freaking chat room. I had all this stuff, and then now I just draw blanks for some reason. Anyways, dude, want to say thanks for all you guys joining me. We had a bunch of stuff going on. Of course, we had the Powerboat Nationals this weekend, along with the Hydro Drags. Mikey Young pulling it together. MP Production was down there, and they gave me some good insight. Man, oh man, oh man. The Keller came in there and put a whooping. What? You guys got beat by an old man. What happened? Obviously, you guys are paying attention to what's going on. I'm bringing you a 2 for 2 for tonight. I couldn't help myself. I saw Keller on there getting a victory. I was like, you know what? We're just going to make tonight's show a little bit longer. You already know I got Jason the Doc Lester on the house. He's going to be our first guest tonight. We're going to be talking about P1 with Jason Lester and what his 2019 season's all about and what he plans on bringing to Daytona. You don't know what time it is. Daytona P1 is coming up. We've got 5 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is race day. If you ain't going to be in Daytona for P1's grand first race of the season, what in the world have you been doing? You Northerners have been sitting in snow. You've been dealing with some nonsense. You got to be coming down here, enjoying that warm beach weather. Because us Floridians get it 24/7, except that 1 week where we're cold, we're bitching, we're complaining, we're crying. It's in the 40s, 50s, whatever it is. It is what it is. But we're going to Daytona. You never know what's going to happen in Daytona. So, of course, we're going to talk about that. You know, I had some people hollering at me, bringing me some good information, talking here and that. We got Pro Rider Magazines in the house. Give a shout out to Kathy Dreyer. So, we'll talk a little bit about the Hydro Drags, the Speed Alley. Now, I didn't get a chance to go look. I had some other things going on. I've been having a lot going on the last couple weeks and just keeping me from doing a lot of stuff. 239 race boat still sitting here. It's almost ready. We might make it Daytona. We might not make it to Daytona. I'm going to make it to Daytona. I don't care what happens. If we bring the boat out there, we run it wide open, it blows up, it blows up. Well, we showed and we played. We're going to bring the A game. But thanks to my boy Manny down there, MVP Productions, hooking it up, giving me some information. I was watching so much stuff, trying to keep track with the British Open Championship. I got some information about that. Trying to keep up with the Huntington Beach, what they were going on. Their live feed was a little all over the place. Good feed though, man. They had a good weather over there. I mean, the weather over there was phenomenal. They didn't have crazy surf on Saturday when I was watching it. Toward the afternoon, well, our evening time, their afternoon, I started seeing the swells starting to pick up a little bit. But on overall reality, it looks like they had a great weekend. And, you know, that is a race that if you guys can make it to it, you got to go there. That pier was full of people watching it, checking it out, having a good time. There's absolutely no reason for us to miss that. That was a great weekend. I'll try to touch base on that a little bit more. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But we're going to focus on a couple things that we have here in the state. And that's Powerboat Nationals. Man, they bring it to Tavares, Florida. And, man, they have a great guy doing play-by-play action, giving us videos, bringing us up some stuff, talking about it. That was phenomenal. You had Diggler coming in for 2 moto win sweeps. And we thought Diggler was going to take it home. And then, you already know what the game was. Tommy Skelt come out there on the Green Monster, Osborne's Bullet. Man, it looked like an overall good weekend. So, but we're going to talk about some drag racing stuff, you know, because Manny hooked it up, so we're going to talk about it. I told you guys I'm going to try to keep as much tabs as I possibly can on a lot of things. And, you know, I got a lot, you know, obviously I got my own life going on over here, but I try to keep up with everybody that's watching and doing the thing because on my shows, I'm going to try to bring you the best information there is of who's doing what and what's going where. You know, obviously Speed Alley, they had a couple things going. Spec class was first place. Azel Pupolo, I hope I said it right, 102 mile an hour, a new world record for spec class. And that's not talking about 2 strokes, we're talking about 4 strokes. I should have done a little more research on what that meant. I failed. I apologize. I wasn't thinking. I was like, you know, I'll just talk about what's going on. But then I realized it's Cardone's Race Corner. We're going to talk about details. How are we gonna miss information about it? But we'll go on. Second place is Riley Cool at 101 mile per hour. The super stock class. First place goes Carlito Vel, Silver Bullet, 113 mile per hour, new world record. Second place, Carlito Devel, El Meche, 111. Third place goes to Ross Namura, FCR, at 101 to 108. And that's Speed Alley. So that was the fastest runs on that. Manny's in the room. He'll probably hit me up with some more stuff. There were some other things. We also had the first time ever a stand-up hydro drag race. And I wish I would have had it. Manny, hit me up on it. Tell me who the 2 racers were because they were in the video. Stuart was doing video and was talking to him. We had 2 stand-up guys. and I believe it was a Commander Hall. I could believe, I might be wrong. I believe it was a Commander Hall I saw, or maybe something else, but I believe it was a Commander Hall out there running it, and one other ski on the stand-up class. That was pretty cool, man. So it goes to show you, it isn't just all about turbos and superchargers and a little bit of nitrous and a little bit of balls. And sometimes you just need to have some swimwear, because that one guy fell off. That looked like it hurt. I mean, that looked like a skipping rock across the water. That did not look very good. Of course Marshal Randy, he was on top of the game. He was right to him, took care of him. You guys know Course Marshal Randy, if he's on the water, there's no other better feeling than having that man looking out for us while racing, because that's the guy that's going to help us no matter what. So the Powerboat Nationals, we're going to talk. I'm not going to enlighten that too much, because I'm going to save that for the last. You guys heard what's going on. I'm going to do Jason Lester first. We're going to have him come up here in a few minutes. So we're going to make this quick. We're going to get the people talking, get everything going. Pete and Little Pritchard. Carrie, thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Those were the two stand-up guys. I can't pronounce the last name, but it's in the chat room. Thank you, Carrie. I really appreciate that. Manny, first place was Pete Nigelit, 19, and second place was Lit, 20. Two vet racers. Scott, I knew there were two vet racers. I remember seeing them in Orlando. They brought their A game in Orlando at Texas H2 race, so they look familiar when I was seeing it. Yadal Fialo, baby, I hope you're ready for Daytona. Are you going to defend your Pro-Am championship title or what, buddy? I'm going to get you on here pretty soon. We're going to have to get one of your interpreters and have an interview with you, but I look forward to seeing you. If you guys know Fialo, he's the one that won last year Pro-Amateur. He's going into this year. Hopefully he's going to defend his title, so we really got to pay attention to that one and see what's going on. Of course, Marshall Randy's in the house. But like I was saying, we're going to go into, I'm going to get the Doc Lester. We're going to get him on the show, and we're going to just get into this because we got a long talk. You know, once we get Tom Keller on the show, he's going to be after Jason Lester. Who knows what he's going to talk about? Thug Custom Cycles, the man, he's been around forever. He's been back in the day with Rob Flores and all those guys, the real heyday of racing. So once we get him on, it's going to be a good thing to talk about. Derek Barbie, I see you in the room. Holler, buddy. It's good to see you in here. Ken Gallifrey, I see you there, and David Golder also. So tonight's going to be a good show. I try to keep it limited because I want to get my guests on. I'm going to tune into, we're going to get the other, slow down. We're going to get you on a pause. I'm going to get the Doc on, and we're going to have some fun. Bear with me, guys. We'll be right back. You know what time it is. I got the man, Jason the Doc Lester. You in the house or what, buddy?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I am here. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, dude, my honor, my pleasure. I know all you racers, especially you guys professionals out there, you guys have a life, and I appreciate the fact that you guys take your 20 minutes of your family time and you come and bullshit with the Cardone on Cardone's Race Corner. So I want to say thank you for coming on the show, man. It's been a pleasure to have you on, and this is going to be a very interesting and very fun, casual conversation. I can already feel it starting already, but as it is.
Yeah, I worked 12 hours today, so I have no problem spending as much time with you right now. And before we get started, I just want to let you know you're doing an amazing job with this show.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it.
It is great. I guess I'm number 22 guest, which it took you a little bit, but when you called me on April 1st, I kind of thought it was a joke, an April Fool's joke, that you actually wanted me on your show. But I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Thank you again.
No, man, Jason. I listen to you and the rest of the viewers out there. There's no joke whenever when I make a phone call. I want to get my racers, whether you're big, small, veterans, rookies, newbies, kids. I want to get everybody on the show because we all need the attention that we deserve. We're out here putting our time, our sweat. Our sponsors aren't getting the name that they deserve. We're not getting the attention that everybody deserves. So I want to give everybody the opportunity, and I really appreciate the people that take the time and they feel honored to come on my show because, just like you said, it's more of a privilege for me to have you guys on my show. You guys are not only... I look up to a lot of you guys, whether you're big or small. I look up to all the racers because I'm steadily learning day by day, watching and being around people. And it's good to have that content, And like, for instance, with you, Jason, I don't really know much. Are you a Canadian?
No.
Okay.
So funny quick story is when I call people, I grew up in California, Southern California, so I still have a family plan. And every time I call someone so I moved to Michigan 10 years ago.
Right.
And every time I call someone, it says Ontario, CA. And people don't answer because they think it's Ontario, Canada, and they just don't answer. They're like, who's from Canada calling me?
That's what I thought.
It's still an Inland Empire IE number from 909 back in Southern California. And Tyler Hill knows all about the 909 IE.
Because when I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, he's a Canadian? Wait a minute, no, that's got to be California. So I figured, that's why, but you didn't catch on to the text joke, so I'm like, hey, you got your coupon Canuck? And you're just like, what are you talking about, buddy? I just swept it underneath the rug. I'm like, you don't get it, don't worry about it.
I don't get it at all. I live close. I enjoy having the Canadian racers with us, but I don't get all those little references yet.
So then so you said, where are you located at right now? Where's your homestead?
So I live right north of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
So
that's where
Michigan.
Yeah, I grew up in Southern California, then went to med school, and then met my wife down in med school, and then we ended up here in Michigan.
Right on.
And go figure where I ended up. And so, yeah. I've actually adapted to it pretty good.
A Cali boy goes to the beautiful weather to Michigan. I mean, I'm not gonna say much more other than Michigan, and that's just wild out, brother.
It's grown on me. I like it. It's just actually the lakes just melted a couple of weeks ago, so
man,
I
mean, the lakes. So. Hey, listen, the lakes just melted over here too, brother. We just got in the water. We just got in the water just recently. I know the ice has been forming for a little while. That it got deep. What is it? 2 inches of sand we've had lately. It's getting deep out here.
It's tough. Tough life.
So California. So how long have you been into jet ski racing? What got you into it, and how long have you been in it?
So I'll tell you, I fell in love with it when I was 12. I had a buddy. We went on a houseboat for a little vacation, and he just bought this new 550. I think it was like an 88 550. He had it painted orange.
Right.
Did a houseboat and Havasu, and you couldn't get me off the thing. I begged and begged and begged my parents, and they finally got me some other used one.
Right.
And local shops in the area started helping me. And my mom, in junior high, literally would pick me up with the trailer at junior high with a full tank of gas. I had it all prepped for her. Take me to Lake Puddingstone.
Right.
There used to be a national tour race back in the day at Lake Puddingstone, right next to Raging Waters. She'd drop me off there for 2 hours and come back and get me. And I'd burn the tank of gas. And I was a little 14-year-old kid, just driving by myself with a bunch of friends that you meet out there.
Right.
So I did that. So started racing right I turned 14 because that was the age back then. Did stand-ups, went to sport class.
Right.
And then after 9 years, I ended up in pro sports, racing with like Dave Zier,
nice.
Dustin Farthing.
Nice.
Last race was like in 2001, and then took off for med school. And then did that. And every year I've always wanted to come back. And then met my wife, had some kids, and then about it's my fourth season back. So about 4 years ago, went to a local race up here in Michigan.
Right.
I get there.
Was it the Great Lakes?
No, it was at a local race.
Okay.
Actually, like 10 minutes from my house.
Okay.
Errol knows all about that race. And I open the door. I hear the noise. I smell the race gas. And I'm like salivating. I'm like, babe. She looks at me and goes, just go for it. So it was done. So back it was 2016, I think it was, when I first came back after, I think, 14 years I was gone.
So when did you
and
get?
ever since then,
So when so you went from that and went right into P1?
So I said closed course first because, when you look back and see, well, what races are available, there's obviously closed course, which I was used to.
Right.
And then there was P1.
Right.
And so I entered, the first P1 race was in Whiting. And let's just say I got my butt handed to me.
That wasn't a very wasn't a very friendly race anyways.
Oh my God, the Whiting race, I was on an RXP, tossed me off literally 3 times. One into a buoy and into the markers. And there was even video floating around. It just tossed me, and I got lapped. It was bad.
So you pulled a Sean Hagen into the buoy, right? You heard me talking to Radman about them big buoys.
Oh.
They're big buoys. Why are you trying to kiss it?
No, the boat pushed me. No, the boat bucked, and then it threw me into the buoy.
Oh, the RXP buck. So we're gonna blame the boat, right? Is this what we're saying, Jason? We're gonna blame the boat.
Well, on that one I will. A couple of times it wasn't the boat, but I've fallen off a few times after that, not on a CD. So let's just put a little bit of each.
We'll just keep it where we'll own it, but we'll say it was the boat because you were racing an RXP, and a lot of people are gonna just go, "What? Are you crazy?"
RXP. It was the P. It was the P one because I was racing close course with it. But the funny thing is, my crew member, my buddy Brian, he was like, "Yeah, it looks like these guys with these Yamahas are a little bit bigger.
Right.
They're doing a little bit better.
Right.
Maybe we should get one." I go, "You really want to get one? Let's do it." So he was like, "Let's go buy one. I'll buy it. I'll let you race it." I'm like, "Fantastic. 250 class, here I come." And then that's what really got me, being in one of those little, one in the smaller classes really helped me develop not only the riding of P1, but just getting used to riding a bigger boat in those bigger waters. So that was a game changer for me, actually. And I actually won the championship that year for the 250 class.
Yeah, buddy. So I've actually, since you got into the P1, that I've been in the racing world now for 5 years. So I think me and you started talking probably going on like 3 years now. We've interacted because you kind of showed up to some of the Pensacola races every once in a while for pro watercross.
Yeah, 2 years ago I went to pro watercross.
Yep.
2 years ago I did Pensacola and Panama City. That's
when we all got our butts kicked, boy. It was brutal those 2 years, man. It was a crazy surf. I think one of those years is when Ray Quintana got his boat got messed up and thrown into the pier. That was a hectic weekend. So going into a little bit of jet ski talk, everybody, a lot of people know you, and a lot of people don't know you. So a lot of people always say, "Why you call him the doc?" Well, we all know you just said you went to med school. So enlighten us a little bit. Like, what is your profession outside of the jet ski world?
So, I went to undergrad at one of the University of California's, and then I went to medical school, and then obviously you could pick a specialty afterwards, so I did either orthopedics or emergency medicine. Okay. And I matched into emergency medicine, which has been amazing because it's great. It's great work. Recently I was able to make my own schedule, so making this racing with family and everything work well, but I've been an emergency physician now going on 14 years.
So you work the ER. You're a trauma doctor. Is that what I'm getting?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I work in the emergency department. There's trauma surgeons as well, which will take care of if they need to have an operation. But in terms of resuscitation and everything else, we'll see it and take care of it primarily.
So you're saving lives. Yeah. So you're saving lives and crushing buoys is pretty much what you're saying, right?
We do our best. Yeah. We do our best trying to save as many lives as we can.
My man, the doc. So, Jason, obviously you said a name that I didn't get to mention last week because I got all fluttered with the show getting messed up. Phil Pope had a great had a great interview with Phil Pope, but I had to pre-record it, obviously, because he's in UK. When I loaded it, it was messed up. But I got a chance to say something, and you brought up Dustin Farthing is going to be racing P1 this year. Did you see that news?
I heard a little bit about it. I don't know too much about it, honestly, but I've heard that from Reba.
Right. So what is?
Yeah, we're big Reba supporters. So
what do you think? What are you thinking on this little shenanigan? Not shenanigan, but a little plot twist in the P1 game. We're gonna have Dustin Farthing coming out there. What do you think? Why not? Yeah, obviously why not? But what is your outtake? How you think you think he's gonna enjoy it? You think he's gonna go out there and hammer it? You think he's gonna give the top 10 guys a real run for their money? We know Dustin's a great racer, but what's your opinion?
It just depends on how much he's ridden lately. I know he's ridden the sport boat and won a couple things recently.
Right.
In the World Finals. But these big boats, he's talented. He's just like all the other top pros. Been following him and McCluggage, and
right.
if you look at this pro lineup, it's stacked. It's going to be fun to watch.
Dude.
It is amazing. The names that are still there and still competitive, and just the new ones that are coming up with Tyler and Christian.
And Christian, yeah.
It's so getting a top 10 is going to be super challenging for any of them.
Well, I mean, we could already name our top 10. I mean, if you heard the conversation before, we have Francis, we have McCluggage, we have Baldwin, you have Pope, we got Pope, we got Daly, we got Tyler Hill. He's a rookie coming in, but we seen what he could do in Clearwater. Obviously we've seen that. So there's no champ. And then we got Sophie Francis. We got a couple other guys.
Chris Saxon, top
Saxon.
5
I was getting ready to say Saxon too. I mean, we have a top 10 lineup already showing up on top of the. Well, how many entries was there? 40 entries, I believe I counted, or maybe more, even prior to the date.
The last week I haven't seen the pros. I know they're in the mid-20s. They're probably much higher than that, and the amateurs were in the mid-30s.
Yes, the amateur lineup looked really good. Fiali looking really good. He ran a good season. Fort Lauderdale kicked his butt, but he still managed to pull in a title. So I'm looking to see what Fialo's going to do also. So going into this week, obviously you just said the lakes have been starting on a freeze for you. What is your game plan? What is your mindset going into this next couple days? Your boat, what are you racing this year? Are you going with the new FX, or are you still running the GP 1800? There's a couple questions I'm throwing at you, but I figured I'd throw them at you now.
Yeah. So no, I'm still keeping the same boat as I had last year. It's still we renewed our sponsorship with Visit St. Pete, so it's already wrapped, and I'm comfortable on that boat.
Right.
And to be quite honest, I want to see how this new FX does.
Right.
Because I tried the GP a little bit, and it wasn't my boat for P1.
Right.
So this FX, I don't even think I can ride the FX yet to its full capability. So that's one thing. And then plus then I had to have it all redone, retested, and everyone's scrambling.
Right,
I putting together this race team's taken a lot of time, and so that plus a new boat.
Right.
I just didn't feel like it was going to be my. I may get one towards the end of the year, depending on how everything turns out.
Right.
But no, it's the same boat as last year. Wrapped Visit St. Pete.
Not the one that got damaged, right? Not the one that got damaged, right?
It's the same one that got damaged. My local sponsor up here, Wonderland Marine, took care of that.
That's why I was bringing it up for you.
That 8-foot crack in it. So,
oh, man,
but it was. Lucky it was just under the seat though, so it didn't cross a bond line.
Right. It was
the hull. So
it was a top.
I got a lucky tag.
Right.
I got a lucky tag. I don't know if I was more upset about that or my leg, but either way.
And I was getting ready to say, how is your leg doing? I mean, I know it was injury. It was a while ago, but do you feel like you've gotten
perfect?
Perfect.
Nope.
There we go.
It's perfect. Yep. I can't complain. So I've been training. I literally have maybe an hour on the boat this year.
Really?
And lucky enough, my lake was super windy, and it was super choppy, so I was just hammering it, and I was like, yeah, I need some more seat time. So it's going to be, first race like for everybody.
Right.
Unless you've raced like either the Mark Hahn or some of these other races.
Right.
A lot of people are going to be rusty, so it's just going to be who's trained and who's got the mental. This racing is not just physical. There's a lot of mental component to it. You can't outside yourself.
It's your mind. It's your mind over your body, because your body wants to quit, but you have to keep that mental strength going to keep it going, because the brain will shut down some stuff so that you can keep moving forward. And some people just haven't conquered the body yet. They still let the brain take over.
And I'm a big person. If once I get warmed up, I'm fine. But that first moto always messes me up. I always get some level of pump that you'll see me running. You'll see me doing a bunch of stuff before the first moto. Right. So I wish we actually had more of a physical practice. So,
right.
So I'm racing sprint as well. I would love it if sprint was first. That would warm me up.
I was getting ready. You're beating me to the punches, because I was going to ask you about your training, and then I was like, now are you going to race sprint again this year? Because I know, did you see they brought that new cup out, the EXR Cup? I mean, the EX Cup. What do you think about that going in? Because that's your class.
So I think that EX Cup is for Europe Tour only. I correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's for Europe Cup only.
I thought.
If I'm misspoken, we'll let you know.
I thought they said it was going to be for selected races in the P1, not only UK, but I thought it was in the States too. Maybe I'm wrong.
You could be right.
Because I thought the way I was reading it, the way they listed it, because it didn't say every stop. It said certain selected P1 races will have the cup.
Yeah.
Bring your EX out.
Yeah. Well, if it is, regardless, I love that thing. That thing is fun to race, super fun. I was the first one in the U.S. to race it back in 2 years ago, and Reva's been a huge supporter of me. And Dave was like, "You racing that EX?" I go, That thing goes everywhere with me because it's so fun, especially in the surf.
Yes.
That thing is just fun.
Well,
and it's funny.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny when you train for this P1 stuff. It makes you small, close course, these slower boats. It's just like you're just cruising on them. It's so nice.
Well, what we need is we need Gabriel to get him back in the game on his Spark, because when Gabriel is out there racing that Spark, he gave the EXs a run for the money, dude. That wasn't one to put one aside because he had some fast Sparks. You know what I mean?
Oh, he was. I love the guy, but he was right there all the time. Like, God, Eric, come on.
Yeah,
always. Give me a little space. Let's get this. He's a very fierce competitor. I was very upset that he wasn't there last year. I haven't talked to him recently to see if he'll be at any of these rounds. But
he said last year he had some stuff he wanted to do on his own. He's been focused on that. This year, I seen where he changed his profile picture to a sport boat picture. So maybe he'll make a comeback this year coming up. I don't know yet. So we'll have to wait and see. So we were talking about this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, he was rumored to do even some aquacross, but we'll see that when that happens.
So, talking about the sprint, sprint class, the EX, are you going to be going to any of the pro watercross racing or any other regional races by that?
So yeah, so for our schedule, we're going to do all the P1 for pro watercross. Tyler's going to be the only one doing, for the most part, the entire season, and I'm going to be there at probably at least half of them, if not more, depending on scheduling.
Okay.
And then if I'm there yet, yes, I will bring the EX. That thing travels with me everywhere.
Right. That's your backup.
And I'll probably race.
You can always throw it in there and race the big boys with it,
Yeah, I love. Yeah, it's a railer. It's a railer. It's got scratches on it, so I don't care. I don't care anymore. And then I'll either be doing an amateur runabout, or I got a 1500 stand-up that I want to be trying to race.
Really?
I'm decent at it. But we'll see how it goes actually on a race course versus just putting around on a lake buoy.
Right.
My lake buoys.
But
it's getting built. So
hey, listen, a stand-up, from everybody that races jet skis will tell you, a stand-up is the best training, anything you could ever imagine, because a stand-up will work every muscle in your body. You even knew it was there.
I got it late last year, and trust me, that thing. Yeah, I need my back and abs need to get a kickstart.
So when are you heading down to Daytona? When is you? Well, hold on, pause that. Let's talk about your team. Let's explain that. I totally forgot to even bring this up. Let's talk about the team. What's going on with what you got going on?
Yeah, so this year, last year we put together the Visit St. Pete with Christian and I.
Right.
And so then this year I wanted to go forward. I want to make my race team more formal. So I actually developed a business.
Right.
This business model, business plan, a whole LLC and everything.
Right.
Called the Watercraft Clinic.
Okay.
Currently it's just a race team, but Errol, one of my teammates, Errol Lang, him and I have an idea of developing even a business out of a shop,
right,
local, doing some accessories, maybe even do a full-scale dealership. Obviously always ideas, but
right,
currently it's just a race team. And so with that, we brought on, so it's going to be myself, obviously. And then, so for our pros, we're going to have Tyler Hill, who's going to be on our Yamaha FX, the new one. And then Daniel Wagner, he's, a lot of you know him already. He's big champion over in Europe, and he's been racing over here in the States forever. So he's making his pro. He's racing the pro race to begin with, but he's raced amateur last year.
Right.
But this year's making his pro debut. So both of them are pro for that. Again, he's going to be on a new FX.
Right.
And then Errol is going to be. He had to change it up a little bit. First, he was going to be on the 200 class, and then he decided to jump to the 300 class. And they were like, "Oh, great, you can get a GP FX." But no, he threw a twist to us. He's riding now. Watercraft Clinic would take everybody.
Right.
He actually has a Kawasaki 310. He's a big Cowie guy. He's got Kawasaki stand-ups. He's making a relationship with Kawasaki, and even his dealer, Ray C's, a big supporter of him in the Kawasaki. So he'll be out there with the Kawasaki. There's 4 of us: 2 AMs in 300 class, 2 pros. We're all going to do close course. We're all going to do some stand-up racing.
Right.
But obviously our main focus here is going to be our P1 aquacross for the entire season.
Nice. We got Ryan Dolly. Ryan Dolly's in here. He threw a kind of Kwame. He's like, how does one get the opportunity to join the clinic?
Woo! I've talked to Ryan before. I picked his brain because he runs an amazing business, which
Yes.
I kind of want to model down here in Southeast Michigan.
Right.
So I kind of picked his brain a little
Well,
bit.
wait. You
Yeah.
said down. Hold on, let me interrupt you. But you said down here in Michigan. That's up here,
Well-
up there in Michigan, because I'm down here in Florida.
Well, when I'm physically here, and he's actually farther north than I am. He's near Toronto, which is kind of corner up here and there.
I want to get Dolly. Dolly's on my list. He's had some stuff going. He is on my list. I definitely want to get him on my show next because it'd be a very fun person to talk to. And like you just said, go ahead.
He's an amazing guy running that team. He's got a lot of great riders, and I envy him a lot with what he's done.
Heck yeah. Well, Doc, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Obviously, all kinds of stuff going on. I'm super stoked. Go back to what we were saying is coming into Daytona. When are you coming down?
Yeah.
What day are you heading down, and how long are you going to be down for?
So we got a few things popping. I have to take Daniel's. So we're leaving tomorrow night. I have to take Daniel's boat to Bradenton to Kinetic Designs to get it wrapped, right,
Nice.
kind of by Jason Russo's place.
Yep.
Then we're driving.
Skeletons. The Skeletons just did theirs.
Yeah, they did scouts. That trail looks amazing, by the way. That just pops that green. And then Tyler and I could be driving down on tomorrow, doing that first. And then we have to go to Riva because we got to spend all day Thursday testing Tyler's new FX. So yeah, Tyler is factory Yamaha Riva Racing for the year.
I've seen that.
So we're going to spend some time with Dave, Chris, and Jesus. Make sure he gets dialed in on that boat because it's going to be a wild ride for him. We're loving it.
I'm excited for Daytona. I can't wait because we already know Daytona is the equalizer. Daytona will eat you up, spit you out. The sand's going to eat you. The surf's going to eat you. The buoys are going to eat you. The sun's going to eat you. And the nightlife will eat you. So Daytona alone is exciting for us racers. I mean, you saw, did you see, obviously, Pro Watercross is going to be at Pensacola. Then we're going to Daytona. And then, obviously, P1 is going to be going to Pensacola now also. So two of our favorite spots in Florida are getting tag teams. So racing's going to be exciting.
Yeah, they're both pretty nice. We're really excited about that. Yeah, especially Daytona with those breakwaters. So other places can't have breakwaters. They maybe have just rollers. But, yeah, Daytona, you're pretty guaranteed these break. And if you're not smart with it,
right.
Knock on wood, we have to.
And if the tide's going out super fast, that sandbar likes to show up in the mid stretch too, the front straightaway. So you got to be careful.
Even better.
Well, Doc, man, I'm gonna get, like I've always told you before, and you've watched the show many times. At the segment of the show, I give you the mic. I want you to shout out your sponsors, your friends, anything you'd like to add, anything you want to say. The mic is yours, and please feel free to say what you gotta say.
Well, thanks, Bobby. Yeah, so I just want to first say thanks to my wife and kids. They put up with a lot over the years, especially with my racing, me being gone, my wife Ixie, kids Aliana and Colton. And, putting this team together has obviously put some time into that as well. So I appreciate all their love and support. And then my sponsors. So the Watercraft Clinic was very fortunate this year to get a number of team sponsors for us. We all have our individual sponsors, but for us to get these amazing companies for our team sponsor, which they've done an amazing job in helping us get to where we're at, and they're all the best companies. So, first, is Jet Trim. Jet Trim, Frank, Karen, Amber. The Bitch and Stitchin', they've been around forever, and their stuff is great. No matter what they do, it turns to gold, and we love everything they do. So we really appreciate them and everything they do for us. Jet Pilot, and with PJ and Tanya. They've got the whole team this year. We're all 100% Jet Pilot, which is great. The best gear. I've envied them growing up with all their riders wearing with Jeff Jacobs, Victor Sheldon, and all those old school stuff. And so we're very proud and fortunate to have them as a team sponsor. Riva Racing. Riva Racing's been with me since I got back into racing.
Nice.
And every year, Dave, Chris, and Jesus and I, we build our relationship continues to build, and this year is just really, really built to one of the best I can imagine with taking care of Tyler on with his boat. P1 and P1 and Pro Watercross. He's going to have two different boats out there.
Oh, really?
He's going to have a GP for closed course, and the FX for aquacross, and then the GP obviously can work as a backup boat.
Man, I'm gonna have to get my boy back on the show again after a couple rounds. So
yeah, Tyler's good, and then but everyone on the team, they've been so generous with us and helping us cards and with tunes, stuff like that.
Right.
It's just, we can't say enough on how amazing. I can't wait to see them on Thursday and spend a little bit more time with them.
Right.
Our title sponsor for the year, Visit St. Pete's. My sponsor last year was Christian. This year they've continued to
Awesome.
sponsor our team. And so all of us, so both Daniel and I will be representing the flagship with the wrap, the Visit St. Pete wrap. But obviously all of us are going to be
Heck yeah.
supporting with them. We'll have our tents. We'll have, we're still building some things with our racers and stuff like that. But Visit St. Pete Clearwater, and you guys can check them out on Visit St. Pete Clearwater.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And then just us. We have a website now. I try to keep it updated as much as possible. The watercrestclinic.com.
And Instagram.
We have social media. We have social media, Instagram and Facebook. And so this weekend for the P1 Aquacross, we'll be updating as much as we can.
Right.
P1's going to be updating their Facebook and more specifically their Instagram with tons of stories.
Nice.
6:00 on this Friday, P1 Facebook is going Facebook Live, and there's going to be many guests, including Tyler and myself. So you guys should check that out.
Taking note. They're taking chapters out of Cardone Live, man. Everybody's taking notes.
Well, I'm telling you, you do a great job, and when you get modeled, that's the best form of flattery.
Hey.
That's compliment. So.
Hey, listen, I'm just doing my part. I'm just enthusiastic about the racing. I want to be a part of it. I get excited when I get down in the class, when I get down in the course, and I see all you guys. I'm not even in your class or even racing, and I'm stoked to talk to some of you guys. You know what I mean? So it's exciting.
And you keep it real too. So.
I try to. Some people don't like what I got to say, but I don't sugarcoat nothing no more. I'm just going to slap them in the face.
Hell no. You got to take care of that.
Well, check this out. Go ahead.
I have one question for you. Hey, on your banner, there's a picture of you. Is that Dale Earnhardt Jr. or is that you? I can't tell the difference. It looks very similar.
That is me. MVP Productions got that picture, shot me good at Fort Lauderdale, man. That's definitely me, homie.
Okay. Every time I looked at it, I was like, Man, that's a striking resemblance.
Dude, that'd be some money making right there. If I got Dale Earnhardt Jr. to wear my C-Note vodka and one of my jerseys, woo!
Hey.
Woo, I'm a marketing man right there. Well, you know what's going on. I want you to. I had an awesome talk with you on the show. I didn't mean to cut you short, but I want to keep it nice and good and have a good conversation.
No, you're fine. You got plenty of other stuff to do.
But listen, but are you ready to have the man Keller, Tom Keller, on the next? I mean, this is gonna be exciting in itself. You know who Tom Keller is, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be exciting. Well, again, Doc, it was awesome having you on, dude. I know you're always supporting me. You're always chit chatting or sending me messages. I truly am honored to have you as a friend and helping me support doing this. And thank you for coming on my show. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Bobby. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I hope you have a good day. I'm gonna holler at you in a little bit. All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
Take
Later.
care. Bye.
All right, guys. Give me a few minutes. We're gonna get Tom Keller on the show, buddy. diggity doll. You guys been waiting. I got Tom the Killer Keller on the phone, baby. You there or what?
Yeah, big what's up out there, guys?
Oh, snap. Man, oh man. Dude, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, homie. Doug Customs hitting it up at the 239. You helped me out last year and bringing it into the 2019, so you already knew I had to get you on the show one of these days, right?
Man, it's been a hell of a ride right now. I'll tell you what, a lot of good riders out there. I'm pretty sore from trying to keep up with these guys and trying to stay in front. Had a hell of a race this weekend.
Well, I mean,
a lot of fun.
But before we even get to the Powerboat National race, I'm just glad to see you walking and actually talking, homie. I'm glad that you're okay. I just want to get that out and clear the air that, man, the two-wheel life is great, but sometimes it is dangerous, homie. So I'm glad to have you walking and breathing with us, homie.
Oh, man, let me tell you something. You're absolutely correct with that. Long ride, long journey. That one race definitely took me out. I got a couple good hits out there. But this race this weekend, they made us go 12 minutes one lap. Oof, 12 minutes one lap. Brutal out there. and then the LC guys had to do 8 minutes one lap. I really feel for them guys. They had to jump back on the wagon for another 12 minutes after that. Oh, my gosh.
So let's go into talking about it. You know, obviously you jumped right into the Powerboat Nationals and how they run it. This is your first time racing this class. This is the first time we've seen them in Tavares, Florida. You know, the Hayes brothers, they've been doing it. What did you think going into this weekend of racing? What was your mindset? What did you think? Did you know how they did it? You know, like, what was your thought going into that race?
Well, I thought they definitely feel good on the boat. Like you said, you never know what's going to show up for competition. You never know who's going to be out there. So I was definitely nervous, you know, because of being out of the game for so long and just starting to get back into this and meeting the crowd and finding out who the fast guys are and, you know, the dangerous ones are and, you know, all that crazy stuff. But definitely a lot more than I anticipated, because when I got into that lineup in the first 2 races, they handed it to me. I got like a second and a third, but I was definitely not on my game because you didn't hear anything. I was in a hit and run motorcycle accident a week prior to that.
Right.
You know, that banged me up pretty bad. I had some injuries still showing and still feeling it.
Right.
And I had to take that to the races, and I was hoping to actually do really well and, you know, and get back into it. Luckily, things prevailed for me, and the guy was on my side. The guy was on my side today.
Heck yeah. Well, we all know that, you know, we all have funny jokes with you because you go to Markham Park and you're balls to the wall, and you know, you always bring your A game. Sometimes you're out in the bike trail, and sometimes you're on the buoy course. But let's actually talk about, you know, I told a lot of people your boat's fast. It was fast in Orlando, you know what I'm saying? But you got kicked off because you got a little excited. Well, let's hear a little bit about the boat. I mean, it's not a stock 1100. It's a little special, right?
What's that, Jay, about the fast boat?
You're 1100. You have 1100 in your HX, correct?
Yes, sir. Cali 1100. My buddy did some work. I did some port work, and Louis Malone from Team Mean gave me a lot of support to help
There
me
we
out.
go. All right, so that's what I was wondering, because I know your boat's fast. You know, like Louis Malone, Christine Malone's HX is fast too. And when I saw you do that pull on TBR, the Hayes brothers at Orlando, your boat moves, and it showed. You know, because you guys did a rolling start for the last moto on Sunday, correct?
Yeah, I kind of worried about the rolling start. I thought the rolling start would be in my favor, but it really wasn't at first, because, you know, a lot of guys don't want to keep in line, and they push,
Right.
they bump in you, and it's a kind of a mess sometimes. But they said they're going to correct it next time. They're going to push harder for it. But the rolling start was a little difficult for me. I'm really straight up used to a snap in the band.
Right.
Maybe even that Le Mans run start, that was different. The rolling start was a little difficult. At least for my part, it was, because I didn't feel comfortable with that. But I'll figure it out.
Right. You know, I mean, obviously you figured out. I mean, the rolling start, I like the rolling start because the HXs get a little bit of advantage because we don't load up. We like to have that little bit of a clear out. And the two-stroke, you know, the spec boats, they all like to load up. But that rolling start, they do it in P1. They've done it a couple times. But, you know, you had Eric Diggler, who is a veteran with the HX, you know, 1100. And, you know, looked like I thought he was going to take, Eric Diggler, I thought he was going to take the weekend. So give us a little tip.
Eric's running 1100. I'm running 1100. Eric, let me tell you something. Eric's definitely a contender. He gets in front. He can pull out. He can pull out good. And I definitely enjoy riding with Eric right now. He's going to be some competition for me. I can tell already.
Heck yeah.
I'm looking forward to hopefully some other guys showing up, like maybe Sam Mimi and some other big ringers out there. I like to see these guys jump on this race a little bit and make it some more fun.
So,
some more spectators out there also.
So Tom, you know you showed up to Fort Lauderdale for P1 last year. You had a couple issues with the boat and the surf condition. You know, on the start, boat was getting swamped, but the boat when you got running was doing really good. Are you racing P1 in Daytona this weekend?
No, I won't be able to take Daytona, unfortunately, because people can notice at the shop, I've got some cycles. I have league dirt coming up just in like a week after that. Just too much planning, too much work-wise, and
okay.
I really wouldn't have time for that. So I'm going to try to hit more of this series, and then some of the hot water series also.
Okay, so then we're not going to see much of you in the Pro Watercross or the P1. You're going to stick to the Hydro Tour, and obviously the hot water.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So we all.
Keep it up there. I like the PX. I did it only one time. You saw me there. I was a little disorganized. I actually got ran over by a lamb. It was totally my fault. It was a hysterical moment in my life. But the whole thing was, I just felt like that was a different race for me. Very, very, no pit forward. Some things were very confusing for me, and they changed the whole track just to compensate us. But I'm not turning anything from that. I love the PX. I love the way it was. But for me, showing up and thinking it was going to be like old school back in the days going to the races, I was like, it was not what I expected to be into that race. You know, I mean, just being a sport rider, not being a sport rider, not being one of the big boat riders. I'm not sure it's a little different for those guys. They definitely make it more feasible for those guys for sure.
So going back to this, you just said something. How long have you been in the game? And obviously you just started getting back into the race game just in the last year. So how long have you been in the game of racing? And what did you race?
Geez, go back to that. I started out with 550s, but 550s were the only thing that were around back in the days. Back in '88, I got to run around. I just stayed locally. Flores showed up one time up in Florida. I got a little spanking on them, and they were wondering if I was going to stay on the tour. I was like, no, I'm just a spoiler. Just wanted to come out here and ride my local backyard in Florida, but it was 550 times.
Right.
And then from then we graduated. I started running 750s. Still expert at that moment. And then I graduated over that because Sea-Doo took over in the 785 sit-down class. That seemed to be the prime market that year. There was over 90 riders in that field, and
wow!
I took that to the World Finals. I qualified really well over here, and I went to the World Finals and took number one in the World Finals for the expert class in the 785.
Nice.
That was a pretty proud moment for me because that's what had to. Back in the days, you had to have a level, or you had to show winnings to become a pro. You couldn't just sign up to become a pro.
Right.
So you had to earn it. You had to send your membership to IGSPA because it was such a packed course.
Right.
So I had to sign up, and I knew that was my moment to go to pro. I went to pro, and after I went to pro, I had a bad year injury for '96. I couldn't run my number, which I was kind of bummed out. I had some great sponsors, Rossier. I had all kinds of guys backing me up for that year for racing because I was really on fire on the 785.
Right.
And the following year, a Tiger Shark picked me up. They called me midpoint of the tour. They said, our riders complaining, this and that, blah, 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 blah. I'll take the ride. They said, bring your helmet out, fly out to Texas. So I showed up for round 6 with no numbers, flat out. I jumped in against Victor Sheldon, Bob Flores. Now, this is the Pro 1200 class.
Right.
Victor Sheldon, Mick Luggage, Justin Farthing.
Right.
The best of the best.
Right.
And let me tell you, that was a hell ride with those guys. That was a great time, a great moment to be part of it.
Yeah, because Glenn Young just...
And then from there, I just kept riding. I stayed with a couple factory rides, mid-sponsors, and then about 2001, I got really upset with the industry, and just things started to change in my life, and I just walked away from it. I just didn't like the way things were going with the whole gas rule. They made so many things so complicated at that time.
Right.
Racing didn't seem to be fun anymore.
Right.
And now, I've been riding with you guys at the lake, and I love it. I'm adoring it. I get back in shape, and it doesn't seem like racing. It seems like racing's fun again. It doesn't seem like there's so much, many rules and so much shit. It seems like it's GP, go for it, run what you bring, have a blast. Everybody smiles. Nobody keeps any secrets. I'll tell everybody what I got. I don't care.
Right.
Just go out and have a fun race together.
Right.
Well,
as long as you don't show up with the creeper van and get stuck, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Tom, it's always fun messing with you because the best part about you is you could bust the chops all day long, but you can have fun no matter what. It's good to see you on the lake practicing with everybody. Like you just said, everybody has fun, everybody laughs, they have a good time, they joke, bust each other's chops, and just go out and have fun. That's what the racing community is all about.
Yes, that's what I love the most about it. Right there, what you said, we go off each other, high five, and then. Next day, help each other out, seeing this part, so I can get out there and have fun. That's the whole camaraderie. That's what I love again. I kindled friendship from 17 15 years ago when he went to the lake one day. He's like, dude, you're riding again? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I took out my sea juice. I'm like, bring them out. So now all of a sudden you got my whole pack of friends, the district, the whole group over there. You see us, Bobby. We have fun.
You have a whole crew.
Do what we want. Drink beers and go out and practice, hit the booties with the best of the best, and definitely riding with the best riders definitely gives you a chance to improve your skills.
You definitely, we're lucky. You're nailing the nail in the coffin right there, because we do ride in practice with some of the best riders out there. A lot of people in other regions aren't even racing right now practicing because it's still cold. We're racing with. If you see the numbers in Markham Park on a Sunday, there's enough people that we could have our own moto. We could have a freaking outlaw series at Markham Park. You know what I mean? That's who we practice with on a weekly basis. So we are bringing the A game to it. And people understand that that's where we're at.
Absolutely, that's what's going to push you and make it go better. I see it. I'm kind of bummed out the way they put these tours so close to each other. So it's like, you got to actually pick and choose it, because it would be great to have everybody be able to, show up. And it's like they're stacking each other up, and
everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting for.
Kind of hard to pick and choose which one you want to go to.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm glad to see the Powerboat Nationals coming in, because they're bringing a lot to the game too. They're bringing the pay, the entry, that payout. Speaking of which, what did that first place trophy give you, homie? What was that? What was your winnings?
Hold on, man. Hold on 1 second. My wife was beeping in the middle of that whole thing.
You're putting me, Cardone's Race Corner, on hold. What is going on here?
Yeah, I won't put you on hold. You already hung up, bro. I'll deal with it later.
Oh, man, she's going to whoop your butt, homie. You didn't tell her you're going on a conversation with me? She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, most likely she's the one working right now, and I'm the one at home, so there's gonna be some problems. You're right.
You know what?
I got her to race. I got her a boat. I want her to get out there. She has to be the beach bunny.
Just get the flowers for her. Give her a nice, give her a little smoochy smooch like you do, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
So are you gonna stick to the Florida tours, or are you gonna kind of go? Are you gonna follow the Powerboat National outside of Florida also?
I don't know, man. It's like, I got an office on the Skillets. I love that family. They're a great group of people. They told me that they kind of spot my trailer and that they would carry my boat out to some of the stops for me. And, the way they would help me out like that.
Right.
And that's right there. Why I love this business right now, because back in the day, as I am a competitor, I'm a threat. And his kid, that little Skillet guy, I'll tell you what, he's on fire. He was behind me like a bat out of hell.
Hayden or Tommy. Both of them, actually. Hayden and Tommy.
Absolutely. But those guys, they're like flies, man, all over me. I don't know what's going on. So I was like, oh boy. So I was like, oh boy, this is what I got to do. I know they're young. They got a lot of heart. The only thing I got to do is I try to hold on to that grip as hard as I can. And sometimes when I'm holding on to it, that's what squeezes the trigger. So I just try to hold on and say, let's go.
That's awesome, Tom. That's awesome. So, I mean, that'd be great. You got an opportunity to go. It'll be good to see you out and racing again, because, I didn't get a chance to see you when you were racing your prime. I get to hang out with you in the lake and shoot the shit with you. I get to talk to you offline. So, it'll be good to see you on the line racing and having some fun. So, like you said before, we just need people to show up. There's enough people that have boats that can race. Just show up and have fun, man. Like, what's the deal?
Show up and have fun. I mean, I get to, just going, like you said, show up and stuff. I met Glenn Young this weekend, and never met the guy before. He's always got the worst sourpuss face in the world on all his pictures. And his boat was having a problem. I jumped over and helped him. The guy was smiling all weekend. I never, he was.
Who was that?
He was having a blast. Glenn Young.
Oh, Glenn.
He was out there.
Yeah, Glenn, man. Yeah, Glenn's awesome.
Oh yeah. Dude, he was out there, and he brought one boat. He brought a basket case. He was all bummed out, and I jumped in there. He looked like that angry guy I always see in all the pictures. I didn't even meet him yet. Walked up, shook his hand. Hey,
Super nice guy.
What's up? And he started BSing. Yeah, we started BSing, and I said, "Let me help you out with that thing." And he actually had to run his backup boat. And then here we are in the main race, and he whole shots. He's so far in front. I'm like, oh crap! I hope this guy whole shot me. Fortunately for me, he was only running a little two-cylinder, so the triples had to mowed him down a little bit. But he was also having some carburetor problems. So, like I said, again, that's to go out there and help people out. That's what I said. I really love the sport right now. Again, it's fun.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Fun.
It's not a full-blown competition. It is, But you know, there's people in the pits that'll take parts off their ski to get you back on the water, and that's what makes it. That's what makes the sport fun. You know, that's where it needs to be.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like a whole new body workout for me. Instead of me going out and just doing nothing on the weekends, now I'm out there meeting you guys, getting back into it, and getting a whole new vibe on my body.
Right.
Shit, I'm 49 years old, guys. I'm getting ready to go on 49, like April 17th. I'm going out there and racing with young bucks. So, man, yeah, I feel good.
Hey, you do it. Hey,
I feel good.
hey, Markham Park may call some names saying you're taking trees out and this and that, but you still go out there and you put the time in, you make it happen, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I keep up my time, and I appreciate that. And Lewis definitely helped me out. Like I said, when I was having problems, Lewis, I was terrorizing him on the phone, and, hey, man, what's up with this? Why am I doing this? And he's like, oh, you didn't do this yet? I'm like, you bastard. So, yeah, I ended up figuring it all out, and all the pieces fell in place. And yeah, right now, I'm definitely going to go out there and still rattle some cages. I mean, I got to run it. I got to run it right now, and now all I can do is make it go a little faster and give it to it.
Just hang on and go. So, you know, I wanted to ask you a couple questions. You know, you beat me to a couple punches. You got excited. What did you think? All right. So, if someone was looking in and was talking about this, what would you say to them about Powerboat Nationals? How would would you bring them in, and what would you tell them?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
So, all right. So, let's say you got someone, like, let's say I'm new and I'm talking to you. You just came back from this week and you got first place. You had a great time. You're talking about racing. And I'm like, you know what, Tom? I want to get in racing. What do I need to do, and what do you think about Powerboat Nationals? Like, what's your opinion?
I don't know. I'm not really getting that whole question properly because my fucking hearing aids. And I'm also deaf, too, guys, by the way. If I take my helmet off, I don't hear anything.
I got you, Tom. So, give me your advice, your opinion of the race this weekend. Like, what were your favorite parts? What did you like about it? What were your dislikes?
My favorite part about the race?
Yeah, the Powerboat Nationals, the sanctioned body you just went to. What was your favorite? What was the thing that shined the most about it?
I mean, this weekend's race, the whole race, or the race, everything.
The whole race, everything, the weekend.
Everything. Well, first, I mean, I do like what they're doing right there. I mean, I'm kind of bummed out I didn't get to see you this weekend at the Power National Boat Race. That was a pretty cool one to be at. Kind of bummed I didn't get to see you there. But that whole drag racing thing and watching some of that stuff go down, that was pretty amazing. Did you watch some of those videos?
Oh, yeah. The hydro drags ain't those hydro drags ain't no joke, homie.
That guy bounced off the water like he was hitting glass for like freaking looked like a mile. I think it's those guys for doing it. That's a pretty crazy thing going over that Mike Young's doing. I wouldn't do it. I personally think they should wear neck braces, but that's the fun them guys to do it. I was on one guy. He wiped out. His helmet blew off because he was too cool to put the chin strap on. Doing 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
I mean, these guys, come on, man, that's crazy. I mean, we're racers. You put the helmet on just because we're going to do a few laps. We might drop and hit our head on the freaking handlebars, you know?
Exactly.
And here they are.
You'll split a chin open.
And here they are. They're freaking, wow! You hear the turbo kick in, and the guy just slightly turns the boat, and
boom,
he's falling off 111 miles an hour. That's crazy, you know?
Well, Tom, it's always been a pleasure whenever you're around. You bring the party. You still bring the 90s and the 80s into the room, and it's always been a pleasure. I want to give you a few minutes. This is your opportunity. You know, it's a little late. I appreciate you getting on the show and talking to me. I want you to give a shout-out to some of your sponsors or anybody you want to give a shout-out to. This is the time for your mic time, buddy.
Right on, Bobby. I definitely appreciate it. Well, I'll give a shout-out to my company, PlugCustomCycles.com. We build some medical bobbers and choppers. Check out the website, too, Plug Custom Cycles. And then one of my sponsors, P&P Jet Skis. He seems to help me out. Pete puts me in my place, gets me a lot of good parts I need. They're hard to find for the vintage jet skis and all the old stuff.
Right.
Yeah, P&P Jet Ski puts me there. And then Team Misfits, the guys that train me, make me ride behind them. They go back behind me, make me ride behind them. Really make me train. See me with those guys. And I'm Sea-Doos and whatever. We'll keep riding boats. And I love my Misfit crew. And, yeah, I really enjoy it, man. I'm looking forward to a great ride with all you guys again. Can't wait.
Tom, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know I got you on short notice, but you were the Sport GP champ of the Powerboat Nationals. I had to get you on the show and talk to you, get your insight, because we haven't seen you. Now we're seeing you. You guys better pay attention. The Keller is bringing his A game. He's going to stir up the little game a little bit. Better watch your game. Tom, appreciate coming in.
Oh, yeah, man. 222's back, baby. We're coming back.
Coming back hard, son. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, bro. It's always a pleasure. I'll hit you up later. I'm going to have a talk with you offline, all right?
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate your show. We appreciate what you're doing for the sport. You're a great fucking guy, bro. We really like what you're doing, man. Keep it going.
Thank you, brother. I'll holler at you later, man.
Thank you, man. Ciao.
You guys know what time it was. Man, the Killer Keller, the Doc Lester. Man, we had a good show tonight. Man, obviously, Tom didn't have his hearing aids in, so it was kind of hard to have some of the conversation. But if y'all know Tom on a one-on-one level, that is the most genuine guy you ever meet. He'll do anything for anyone, and he's always down to have fun. He's always smiling and bringing his best. Dude, I want to tell you guys right now, it's 8:05. We had a great show. I cut it short because I want to get my guests the time to talk and have fun. If you didn't see what I was talking about the Powerboat Nationals, they're bringing a whole new level. I'm going to talk some more about them. I'm going to keep an eye on those guys because they're bringing the game to the level. Mikey Young's having the hydro drag racing going on. Those boats are awesome. Those guys put some time and money into those boats, and they ain't no joke. Keep an eye on those guys. MVP Productions always keeping it live and checking them out. He's always got his eye. His camera's always looking at those boats. Make sure you keep an eye with him too. Jessica Water at Water's Edge Photography. She's always keeping a lookout too. And we had our own guest, Mel Smith, was even at Tavares over the weekend. So, you guys, we're going into race weekend. Daytona, baby. P1. Best get your asses off your couches, get them on your skis, get your vest going, get your numbers ready, get your ski ready, PWC, everybody, bring it. P1, Daytona, I'll see you guys there. Cardone's out. Once again, I want to appreciate every one of you guys following me. Whether you hate me or like me, I thank you guys for watching and following and supporting Cardone's Race Corner. I'm coming at you 100 every time, baby. We're out.
Company, always on the run. A destiny, oh, it's the rising sun. I was born, a shotgun in my hands. Behind the gun, I'll make my final